Good night, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. Let's first see if we've got people in the house. Give us quickly a chat there to indicate whether you can hear us and whether you can see us, more importantly. Let's see. Phil. Hi, Phil. Good evening. Don, good evening. Yes. Great.
So we're not alone, right?
We're not alone. And I've seen a number of people. I saw people from Switzerland earlier, from the US, quite a number of people already. Wow. Let's see who we've got here. We've got United Kingdom. We've got Canada. What is that? Germany over there. South Africa. Good evening. Argentina. Good morning. And United Kingdom. Yes. Let's see. Albania. Oh, yes. A lot of you. Good evening, everyone. Seeing some names there that are familiar. Welcome to the first webinar of 2020, and with many more to come. Right. Okay, guys, let me quickly do a quick intro here for you. This is our first webinar for WordPress, for Brizy WordPress in 2020. And tonight we are going to be covering quite a number of things in this. This is a very informal session. There's no how-tos here. We're going to have a quick look at what we've done in 2019. And then we're going to tell you about 2020 without any promises, but we're going to tell you about 2020. And then Dimi is going to take and showcase you some of the stuff that's in works, things that may get you very excited for what's going to roll out in the
I know that we are very excited. So hopefully I can how they call it in TV, pass the screen, pass the glass, and give you some of our excitement of things we're preparing this year. Okay, GP, sorry for...
No problem. Right, so we've set aside 1 hour for this, but with everything that we're going to show you tonight, we suspect it may go a little bit over that, so don't worry about that. We are recording it, and it will be on YouTube available. If you need to go feed the kids later, or you need to go to work, or you just need to take a nap and go to bed, then no problem. You will have access to this webinar within a few days, I think by the weekend. And like usual, no tech support. We cannot do much about that. Feature requests. We know there's a lot of people who often come up with ideas, and we understand there are many future feature requests that you have in mind. Not tonight. You can log those with our support forum for that. My name is JP, and as always, a little bit about me. My background is very, very colorful in terms of where I come from, way back when in law, and I got into other things like compliance, sustainability, photography, videography, and then website design. And I'm quite an early morning riser. So at this moment, sitting over here in South Africa, where it is very sunny, with Dimi over there in Romania, where it's already 0 degrees Celsius outside, we are in very, very different time zones here. And with that, for me, wake up early in the morning, Dimi is still fast asleep. Dimi, and to you in 2020.
Yeah, compared to you, mate, I usually go to bed at 3:30, so it's so we are on different schedules, to put it like that. Yeah, most of you guys know me. I'm one of the founders here at Brizy. I have a wife, a beautiful wife, Dana, and 2 kids, 2 boys. We are always trying to actually, GP, we need to change this more often. We are always trying to give you some a better insight, maybe in our personal lives, to give you something that you don't know about us. I'm one of the designers here at Brizy, and the one of the guys that handles and what you see on the UI and most of the user experience you are seeing there is mainly my responsibility. And I work in web business since forever, basically, when the web was a totally different place. Yeah, that's about it.
Great, and we're still going to talk a lot about ourselves this year. Right, Dimitri, let's talk about 2019. And guys, just to quickly give you again a recap of what we're going to do here for tonight, we're going to just give you some of the highlights of 2019. And just earlier, Dimitri and I, we were talking about the fact that at the end of the year, you often look back at the year and you think to yourself, what have I done? And it sometimes feels like the year just rushed by, but when you sit down and you start going through the lists, you're actually quite surprised at the amount that has been achieved and how far we got. Things that we didn't think would happen had happened. And of course, there are some things that are still in the process, but it's been a very great year. And I think to start off with, before we start off with the recap, it's for this community that we have to say the number one thanks, because that is what kept 2019 going. That's what's going to keep 2020 going. And this is what it's built on, this great community. And we really want to thank you for that. Dimitri, do you want to have a run through quickly of the recap for 2019?
Yeah, sure. We just wanted to make a list, so when you put it actually on a list and see what you actually achieved in the past, it's eye-opening, and it's actually great. Breezy had an amazing 2019, and 2020 will be even greater. We'll discuss this a bit later. But just to recap a bit for maybe the ones that are not up to date with everything we've added last year. The new pop-up builder, the pop-up builder that lets you basically collect leads and has all the automatic triggers and display conditions. On the design side, we've added a lot. We've added the Kit 2.0 that has over 500 blocks that you can use to build to start from them and build your websites for yourself or your clients. We've also added 17 premium layout packs that are built on different niches, and also 43 pop-up designs. And this design part is only the beginning. We'll just ramp it up in this year. On the dynamic content side, there is a lot to discuss for this year. But last year we've added meta box support, custom fields meta box support, and a new element for the blog, breadcrumbs. On the element sides and containers, we've added for the form, for example, we've added 12 integrations. A lot of options like custom CSS. We've added gradient colors, hover effects for different container columns and things like that. And new elements, for example, all the social elements for Facebook were added in the last year. And also for the typography and the text, we've created a custom font manager that lets you upload and manage fonts, delete them, upload them, and it's great for when you're working with clients that maybe have custom corporate fonts, or you want to have everything local. We also did a bunch of general improvements. I'm not sure you are familiar with the builders out there, but we are the only ones that have this nice little thing. But I think it's important for the usability and the experience you're having with Breezy, called Live Thumbs. So basically, when you're working with blocks in Breezy, all the blocks are you can see a live representation of the blocks when you order them, or when you link to a different block in the page. We've added keyboard shortcuts that help you do things even faster in Breezy and easier. I use them a lot, and actually we'll show you a new shortcuts that will improve the usability even further. And last but not least, we've worked for the Breezy core, basically for the foundation of the Breezy. We've made this stronger and better, and we laid basically the foundation for what came partly in 2019 and what is about to come to this year. That's basically it in a nutshell. A lot of other little stuff were improved or added, but we would have made the list too long here. So these are the main things, and this year looks even better. I promise you that. We'll go to that next, and that's about it. If you guys have some questions, we can maybe address them now or.
Right. I think before.
Sorry, GP. Sorry, mate. Right. Stratos tells us that in 2019 you added GP to the team. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have put it on the list, right? It's my bad.
No. What I mean is sorry for them and sorry for you. Right. Thanks, guys. And it's my honor. It's really been a great journey and a great experience. The questions, I see, Patrick, you've asked about the headers and footers, and that's going to relate to block conditions, which we will be discussing. So for features that are not included, I recommend you guys wait with your questions until Dimitri has shown us what is in store for the upcoming releases and the planning that is in store. And unfortunately, that question, when is it going to be released? I think that one we're going to be very careful. There are a few wins that we can address tonight that will give you an idea and timeline of what is coming in the next month or so. But for bigger projects, that's always a very difficult win. The most important part is that they are there.
Just to touch on the headers and footers, the reason why you are not seeing them on this list right here as a bullet point is because they were added in 2018 in December. So basically, they are there. We have headers and footers, so you can build your header and footer in Breezy, but didn't make the cut because they were launched in December 2018. So that's basically why.
Right. Good. So let's move forward, and that will be the 5 main focuses in 2020. And actually, tonight I'm in a very good position. I'm in the passenger seat, and Dimitri is in the driving seat. He will be doing most of it. The questions in the chat that I can answer for you, I'll do my best. Those that I cannot answer, we'll make a list of that, and I will relay them to Dimi if it is related to tonight's webinar. And Dimi, let's talk about 2020 then.
Yeah, in this year, we'll have 5 main focuses and only 5 main focuses. So basically, these are 5 points that we'll be focusing on in the coming months and throughout the year. We'll have improvements and fixes, basically for what's already in Breezy right now. So we'll improve a lot of elements. We'll address usability issues. Actually, part of this will showcase tonight. I'll share my screen and show you guys some things we are working on right now and will come really soon. We'll also continue with the performance enhancement for front end and back end as well. So basically everything related to performance, the speed of working with the builder, the quality of the images, the image optimizations. We did some things last year by implementing short pixel, but there are still steps to do, and we'll address those this year. The output, the HTML output is again on the list. We've made some steps last year. There is still room for improvement, and this is on the list as well. So basically, this will be a permanent process. It's not we make performance enhancement 2 months and then we just push an update, because everyone knows, and if you are familiar with the field, you need to know that performance is something that is not so easy to do from one day to another. It's a process, and this will take some time. But the important fact here is that it will be as our main focus this year. The dynamic content is something very, very important that right now it is in Breezy. You have dynamic content for WordPress, and we also made plugins like ACF and MetaBox compatible. But we are not totally happy with the dynamic content as it is right now. It works, it's okay, you can do your job with it, but we feel it's not on the Breezy way level, right? So we have some work to do there. For example, like we'll have editor preview, so you will not see those placeholders that you see right now. You'll actually see the post you are editing or the dynamic content you are putting on your page. We'll have usability improvements. For now, for example, the way you work with text. And GP, you need to press hashtag and then select a shortcut from a list. Right. It's the usability there needs some improvement because it's not it can be easier, made easier. Plus, we'll shift on the dynamic side. We want to shift how you work with the dynamic content. So basically, everything dynamic will be in the sidebar, right? So you'll add elements the same. You'll add a dynamic content on your page the same way you add elements. So imagine you go to create a blog post. So you will not be forced to type hashtag and select the title from a list like you do right now. But you'll also actually drag an element title that is dynamic on your page the same way you drag an image or whatever else. And these shortcodes will be displayed only instanced based on if you are creating a template or if you are the dynamic content will be off the charts, and we know how to make it the breezy way. It's just it took some time and it takes some time because these are complicated things. And WooCommerce will respect the same basically the same workflow, right? You'll enter to create your I don't know, your product listing or your product page, and in order to create it, you'll just drag elements from the sidebar, product title, price, sliders, and things like that.
Before you continue, let's just before you go on, a few of the questions that I think relate to what you said. There's a question Alberto asked whether this will be for cloud as well. This webinar will focus on, this one for tonight focuses on the WordPress one. So when we talk about dynamic content in this regard and WooCommerce, because it is a WordPress platform, will always be for WordPress. But of course, there are ideas for cloud. But I think tonight's focus, anything we say here is not automatically it will apply to cloud. This will be for the WordPress plugin, right?
Yeah, not only that, but it will automatically apply to WordPress, right? So right. I'm making efforts to not spill anything regarding the cloud, because we're preparing a webinar right after this. Basically, we'll do a webinar the same way, Breezy Cloud in 220. So if you'll follow our page and our Facebook, you'll be able to attend that, and we have a ton to show right there. So this is WordPress, strictly WordPress tonight.
Right. Dimi, we've talked about this a lot. What is the Breezy way? I mean, Breezy is the vision of how the Breezy builder is envisioned. Give us a few minutes on what is the Breezy way, because I know especially often when you and I talk about ideas or something, you will tell me that doesn't fit in the Breezy way. So give me a quick idea of the Breezy way.
You know, the Breezy way is something that's it's a concept, and it's something that you everything that it's normal and it's easy to do, and it's not far-fetched, and it makes sense to be this way. You know, like imagine our image. Think about the options on the image, right? Isn't it natural to just zoom the image and use the pointer to just focus the image inside your builder? Why the hell do you need Photoshop to go and recrop it and do 7 times on different sizes? Isn't it better and more natural and easier and faster to do? If you think of all the features and the options we add in Breezy, all go through this filter. Is it natural? Is it easy? Has this you know, we started to make Breezy, not to make just another builder, right? You have a ton of them right now that are basically more or less copies of one another. They launch this week something, the next week the other guy launches something slightly more different but the same. We started this to make something different and something better. At least we think that. So we started this to make this the breezy way, easy, fast, and basically perfect. I can't. This is basically it. So everything goes through this syntax, to this way of doing things.
I like the words that people say. It's an experience, it's energy, it's a passion, it's intuitive, and I think the community understands quite a lot. And as you can see how Dimitri talks about it, the passion is there, and I think that's very important. Let's get back to the slides.
My English lacks some words to transmit it, but I hope my enthusiasm it's passed on. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So WooCommerce Builder. I know that this is something that from the day one questions from basically when we launched the WooCommerce Builder. WooCommerce Builder is something complex. We already started something there to work on it. The WooCommerce Builder will be one of the focuses this year and will be launched, and it will be freaking awesome. I promise you that. So I thank you all guys for all the patience. Hang in a little more there. We'll continue to make improvements and bring the dynamic content to the breezy way level of doing things, and WooCommerce will fit perfectly into that. This year we'll have WooCommerce Builder. As you see, we didn't put any dates here. I'll talk a bit about this later, but it's one of the focuses. We'll do it. It will be there, and it will be amazing with designs, with everything it needs to let you just go and build your shop, your client's shop, and things like that. And the last thing on the list is the most another thing that was a lot asked, third-party API. This is the third-party API is a beast in itself, right? What we do right now, just to give you a bit of insight to understand. An API is basically a way to let others develop on top of Breezy. And up until now, how we did things and build them in Breezy were very simple, and we've always created different ways of doing things inside in-house to make our life easier and easy to develop, easy to extend, and things like that. But it was easier to do if you have a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge about how we do things. And what we do right now, we extend that a bit more. We basically rewrite all the options in the builder, everything. We rewrite for example, we rewrite the border, the color picker, margins, padding, sizes, styles, shadows. We standardize, basically we rewrite them under a standard. And we are also creating documentation at the same time, and this will make basically the basis and the core of the APIs. We are at this first process of rewriting everything, and not only rewriting the options and features, but also bringing everything we've built so far under the same constraints, right? Under the same API, basically. So this is what we do right now. It's still in the works. It will come this year for sure, but I think I'm maybe somewhere in the summer. We'll discuss about this. Let me just rephrase and recap a bit. We have 5 main focuses here. As you can see, we didn't put any numbers on them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's simply because no one of this on the list are more important than other, right? And not only that they don't have a priority, but they are all important. And not only that, we already started working on them, on all of them. You'll see later in this webinar, we'll showcase elements, usability things, and we're working already on performance, on dynamic content is already in the works. these first three points will be something ongoing. So we'll trickle updates for improvements, performance, and dynamic content in the next months until we bring them everything, we finalize everything there. The last 2 points will be WooCommerce and third-party API. These two can't be trickled out in updates. So we can't bring WooCommerce in 3 updates. WooCommerce will be a block, and it will come in most likely in a single update with the WooCommerce builder, and the same with the API. The API needs to come. Actually, I think the API can come in 2 stages. We'll see about it. But yeah, that's about it about the focuses and what we'll do. Yeah, you put me right now on the screen after 20 minutes. You should have done it. No,
you're on the small screen. I'm regulating you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Just quickly, I know I look at the numbers, and from when we started the webinar, the numbers have doubled. So I think there's a lot of people, and I see from the questions, some people are confused. Tonight is not a workshop. It's not a how-to. It's not a tutorial. We are giving you quick insight as to the planning for 2020, what's upcoming, what's on the roadmap, what's in the works. And very, very soon, Dimitri is going to show you some of those examples already, just to whet your appetite. This is for the Brizy WordPress plugin. We're not talking cloud tonight. So questions about cloud, you have to wait. We'll bring you a webinar very soon on that exclusively. If you have questions, what's going to be in there, just wait a little bit so that Dimitri can go through his presentation first. And I'm writing down things like those questions that I think will relate to this, and I'll ask him at the end when we get back to him. Right, Dimitri, back to you.
So we are going to next updates, right? We've put here the next updates that we are basically we know what next updates are, right? So you can plan for the whole year and have some global goals and focuses and things that you need to guide all your decision through. But it's hard for us to just project 1 year worth of updates. So these are 5 things that will come next. We know them. We have them done. Almost. So basically they're almost done, most of them in the testing phases. Some things need to be ironed out, but these that you see here are basically nailed in stone. So we'll start with the contact form this week. That was in beta for the past 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, I think. Then we'll have a design update. Those layouts that we showcased, I think twice already, will come in this update. We have them ready for some time now, but we just needed to wait for the contact form. So this will be a fast update next week. I know that we've promised 10 layouts last time, but we'll push 14, so it will be 14 instead of 10. After that, and this is one of the updates that I'm actually super hyped about, it will be a quality of life and a huge improvements update. Sergio, I've talked with Sergio today, and he told me there are around 250 pull requests on our GitHub repository. So basically 250 things that were solved, improved, fixed, added, and things like that. So this will be a massive update. We'll show a couple of elements and some of the UI and usability improvements right today in the showcase right after this. We'll have the infamous import-export that you guys are waiting for some time now.
Me too. So you need to tell me what does import-export mean.
Yeah, we'll showcase this tonight, but only the guys are still working on the connections with your Brizy account and with the cloud and things like that. We'll showcase only the part in WordPress tonight. But I'll explain there how it will work and and it will all be made clear. But basically, it will you'll be able to save blocks and layouts, entire pages, and sync them to your account, to your Breezy account, and access them basically in any WordPress admin. Right? You work for a client, just connect your Breezy account, and you get everything there that you saved, blocks and layouts and things like that. It's super cool. You'll love it. We'll show it to you. And last, we have the block display conditions. I was talking with some of the guys, and actually Daryl, you know Daryl, the famous YouTuber, Wilson. He was telling me, yeah, man, you know, you guys need that team builder. You need that team builder to wrap everything to be complete and things like that. And what I've told him, I'll tell you guys, the block display conditions are basically the last bit and the last part to create that, to have that team builder 100%. We have the footers. We have the headers with all the options, and the block display conditions will let you basically put those on every page. And I can't showcase this tonight. We can't showcase this, but I saw an alpha version, and forget about how others do it. When you'll see block display conditions and how easy it is to just click a button and have your header, or actually any block on any page on your website, it's kind of amazing. That's about it with the updates. I've also put some timelines here, so you can make an idea. Content for this week, we'll do the design next week. Add 2-3 weeks, and we'll have the improvements update. Another 2-3 weeks, we'll go with the import export, and then the block display conditions. This, I think, if you add it, it will come, give or take, to around 3 months, something like this, worth of updates.
Right. What's next on our list?
No questions. No questions.
There are questions, but most of them are related to features, and I think we should go through what you're going to showcase first, because many of them may address the questions, and then after that, those questions that I have jotted down. I think one of the things not there, that the question came in from a few people, is there a plan for a mega menu in the future?
Funny you should ask, because I've talked with Sergio today about exactly this mega menu. If you believe it, it's mind-boggling. We didn't put it on a list. We didn't put it on this list, but it is on our list to do it. We know how to do it exactly, how it needs to be the Breezy way. A lot of things that we couldn't put everything here, right, in a short description, in some bullet points. But besides all this, expect a lot of improvements, fixes, and things like that, and actually new elements sprinkled out throughout the year. So mega menu for sure will be part of this. Maybe not in this first phase, in the updates that we've went through now, in this around 3 months, but it will be there for sure. No question about it. Imagine you use that for WooCommerce, for example. I can imagine a bunch of uses for mega menu in shopping and on I don't know, maybe on a magazine website, a blogging website. So that will make a great addition, and we'll add it for sure.
Right. And then a question I had asked you this morning from Josh: how long is the Pro going to stay in beta, and will the lifetime offer remain?
The Pro, we want to add basically what you see here on the list. The dynamic content. Start with the performance enhancements. make those life improvement and usability and things, fix some things that were left behind, improve some elements that we'll show tonight, and add the display conditions that will basically encapsulate the team builder, and then I think we are ready to move to live, to move to a Breezy 2.0. It's not actually 1.0. I'll name it 1.0 right now. Right? It's as stable as
you've named it once since last year. I know.
Yeah. In my mind, it's Google kept Gmail in beta 15 years, so it's It's as stable as it will be. It's used in production on a lot of websites. We use it in production, but to push it to 2.0 and have the official launch, to put it like this, yes, I think in this next month. And about the lifetime. Lifetime, we always discuss about this. I know that we mentioned that it will be retired, never gonna find it and things like that. Maybe we'll still have it. Why not? Maybe it will be 599, maybe it will be more. We'll just have to see about it. But if you are thinking to maybe benefit from this deal until we decide exactly what we do with it, have no worry, because it will not be like that overnight. So everyone will know what we'll do, and you'll get ahead, right? We'll notify everyone about what we plan to do and things like that.
Right. So one question, and Marcus had pressured me to ask you this, and I had seen a number of them and asked. It relates to real estate, and I think the point is more in terms of templates and designs, more designs and layouts geared towards different fields and careers, especially for those who are working with things. And the question was real estate. So I think to put that in a complete package would include dynamic content, which is being revised, and then probably some more integration, and then more templates and layouts. So let's talk quickly just about templates and layouts. What is your plan for that?
Yeah, about the design, I didn't put it. We didn't put it there in the bullet points. But what we plan, and I think we've discussed this last year, and this still stands, and we are committed to this. We plan one update in 4 or 5 weeks, a month or so, to be on design. Right. This is basically what we are discussing in the office and want to achieve. So. I didn't put it on the bullet point there, but expect, besides those, expect update designs, layout packs, extension for the Kit 2.0, pop-ups, and once we bring the dynamic content, the full dynamic content on blog templates, when we will come with WooCommerce, we'll bring layouts for products, listings, and things like that. But I was discussing actually with Bogdan the other day about the design aspect of updates, and he has to finish right now. He's working on something we keep under wraps for Breezy Cloud on the design part. We'll discuss this on the next webinar.
Next webinar. You're not allowed to now.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's okay. No, but I can't. I keep laughing because I know.
That.
Yeah, I know what we've been working and discussing here, and there are some things it will be okay.
Okay, so on that,
I'll finish. what we'll do, and it's important for us because we have some ideas of what we need to do, and the design is not a problem here. I always thought and still think that the design is one of our edge advantages, and we have great designers here, and from this point of view it will not be a problem. Every time we've made the cutting edge design up with trends, and everything that will come in Breezy will be up to par with the latest trend in design. No template-ish stuff. No, it will be great. The issue, not the issue, but the sort of difficulty that we have is we need to create a way to communicate with the community, and this is what we'll do. We'll have a post on the Facebook community really soon. And if you guys, as you always helped us, and we are always grateful for that, push us in the right directions in terms of what niches do you need covered, and we'll just basically, you'll have your own design team, Breezy design team at your disposal, right? We'll just make a list with what you guys want in Breezy, in the design department, and we'll just do it. So we expect that post maybe this in the next weeks.
Right. Last question, and then we should get to the showcase. This was just Patrick raised this again, and I think good thing you're here. Good thing you're here, mate, because I'll just ramble all night. Yeah, please. I'm on the clock.
Yeah, right? Yeah, please.
The import and export, as you had explained it, it's going to be a syncing feature for you, for your personal website. But the question is, will this import and export also include the ability that I can put something out for the community, and then Patrick can come and he can get my file and he can upload it onto his site? Will that be possible?
Well, as you may, no thing that you can think of wasn't discussed like hundreds of hours here in the office. I can promise you that. No, there's no feature that we didn't discuss. Yes, we've discussed about this. Actually, this will be a natural, maybe a great way to in the first phase. It will be only this sync. But this will be maybe a next feature that we'll need to extend in this library, and we are discussing about community-created layouts and blocks where you can access what others did, and it's pretty cool. I can't talk more about it right now because we might create false expectations, and you know how these things work. But we're discussing things like this, and there are some problems there with the content that is saved and showcased. It will need to go. It need to go to a funneling process. We'll need to approve things. There are some catches there, but we are discussing solutions, and yeah.
Right, great. I'll keep list of the questions. Let's go over to the Element Showcase.
Yeah, sure. Let me just share my screen, if I remember how to do this. So share screen, Chrome, the connection and all the streaming. I hope. Yeah, it's okay.
No, new improved video. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So one thing to mention here, all these elements and most of the things I will showcase tonight will come in that huge improvements and quality of life update that we plan. So video is one of the elements that we are improving. For example, if you add the default video on the page, it's just a basic video, right? Like any video, but what you'll notice here is that we've added a type option, and you can select between YouTube, Vimeo, and oh my God, custom video upload. So you'll be able to basically upload your video directly from the main media library, and you have all sorts of controls here. create and display certain things, autoplay, loop, start from different seconds and things like that. You'll be able to also control all the colors for the. This is basically HTML5 video element. So you'll basically be able to create and upload your videos directly from the video element. This is one of the elements that will suffer an improvement in that update. The next, it will be the new countdown. Oh my God, this new countdown! I'm not sure you guys use the current countdown. It does the job, but there are certain issues and problems on the responsive side. You can't modify the names here. So, but this new one is amazing because we've basically started from scratch. And you can control everything here, right? So, for example, let's go to advanced. We have 3 styles of countdowns. You have this one where all the titles will appear near the numbers. We have only numbers. You can, for example, disable date and have only hours and minutes, or maybe hours, disable minutes. If you have something happening in under a minute, you can do that if you want. But the main point here is that you can control everything, right? Maybe you don't like days here, no problem. You just write day, hour, minute.
Ah, the breezy way. I like
it. So
this
is basically the breezy way. If you catch my drift, everything you want to modify something, you just click it and you modify it. Maybe you don't want it like this. Maybe you want like this. And days will be day, and hour, and this will not be minutes, but only min, and only sec. And maybe you want to go on the font side, and maybe play with the fonts and and do something really huge to attract. Right.
Okay. So the font, the numbers, and the labels are not linked anymore. You can set the size. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can control color, everything. What you want to do with this, and of course, in the responsive, you'll be able to control it individually and make it on one column and things like that. So it's kind of cool. You'll be able to do everything with it. Let's go on. The next one, it will be a new counter, right? The counter we have right now is basically like this. It's only a number that will count down from an start to an end. But we'll introduce different styles. No mind all the options here, because they are most likely will be represented in a different way. We'll have a counter like this, for example, if you want to use it, or maybe we'll have a counter like this.
Ooh.
Right. So I can see a lot of uses for these different kind of counters. Of course, I'll stop mentioning it, but everything is controlled. You can control everything: the font, the sizes, the colors for all the background and text, and the progress. Of course, the elements that supported will come with this the pointers that will let you drag the size directly in the interface. So. Yeah, little nice improvement with a couple of styles for the counter.
Just a quick idea. These ones that you are showing now, they are works in progress. Are there any timelines to them, or are they just ideas at this moment?
No ideas. What I'm showing you right now is on a test server that we are testing right now, and all will come in the update we've mentioned in the slide. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's 3-4 weeks away. So
right.
basically,
so we can put a 1 to 2 month stamp on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are done already. We'll just a couple of them will need to go through a review process and maybe iron some things out. Just to name to give you an example, this option, style options, maybe it will not be as a drop down, but it will be something like here, right? It will be something like you see here with icons. So right. Things like this we still need to sort out, but they are done, working, and not ideas. They will come. The new counter, and then we'll have a new audio element. So basically, we'll have a new audio element, the same as video. You'll be able to add a file here and control everything regarding the sizes, put a cover in the background, display certain parameters here, duration and things like that, control all the colors for the icons, for the background, all the usual suspects, right? Everything you want to modify, you'll be basically be able to do it. What's important with this element is that, and I've heard this a couple of times, if you want to use audio on your pages and want to load this on your server and have them stored locally, you are not forced, or if you don't want to use our other audio elements, like we've created embeds that can bring basically any audio from anywhere. But if you don't want to count on different websites that store music, you can just basically upload it in your media file, media library, and just play it with this new audio element. And that's about it right now. I could have put a couple of things more, but we also, for example, made some improvements on tabs, some small improvements on accordion element. That's mostly it. I'll just stop the screen sharing right now. But just to give you a glimpse that and an insight on that first part that we were mentioning, fixing and improving certain elements and certain things that is one of our focuses this year. So this stands proof to that, and it will come very soon in Breezy.
These ones, similar like the Form 2 that is coming out, Form 2 will not automatically upgrade the previous Form 1, right? So if people were using Form 1 before and they want to use Form 2 now, they will have to redesign that form in Form 2. So for these ones like the video and the countdown and the counter, with the new updates, will it automatically upgrade those, or will you need to redevelop them or redesign them?
You need to redesign them. You basically need to add the new contact form on the page. The reason why just to give you a bit of insight to understand why some companies, or why we chose to do it this way. If you there are two ways to do it. You either upgrade an element and move it to a new version, or you create a new element that has all those options. Because the complexity of what we've added is so big. We've added a lot of fields. We've added Gmail integration, SMTP integration, reCAPTCHA. You'll see. I don't know if you all guys, most likely you were not in beta to test it and see what we've added there. But we've added file upload, radio boxes, checkboxes, hidden fields for further for your marketing. It's a complete contact form, and it's in free, right? So everything is added in free. Because we chose to, and the complexity here, we chose to create another element. If we went the other way and only upgraded, we needed to create another buffer filter and script that will upgrade all the components from Form 1 to Form 2.0, and that it's a beast in all itself. So we chose the best way to do it, to create another element that it's contact form 2. And if you want to use that, you'll just drag it on a page and you'll have the contact form 2. One important thing to mention, and this is very important, don't live with the impression that you'll need to you'll be forced to upgrade it. If the contact form 2 will continue, the contact form 1 that you are using right now will continue to work the same as it did yesterday, and it will work tomorrow. That's no problem. The only difference is that you would not be able to add in this contact form version 1 the new fields, right? That we introduced in the new version of the contact form. You'll have to add another element from the sidebar. So that's basically it. The form will continue to work. If you want the new options, just drag an element from the sidebar. You're there. It's as easy as that.
Great. No questions regarding this. We've covered the timeline. We've covered the questions relating to this. Kit number 3. No.
I saw it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe later this year, but we don't have it on our list yet. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe yeah. Maybe kit number 3 will be created by the community. How about that?
Right, let's jump to the next one on our slide here, the UI and the UX showcase. Oh, there's more.
This is my domain, to put it like this. I'm not hyped. I'm overhyped about what I'm about to show you guys. It's I think these 3 things that I'll showcase right now bring the usability to 100%. It's amazing. Let me just show you. So screen share.
We got it.
So I'll show you guys right now 3 things that were on the list for some time, and we've got to them and we've sold them, and I'm super happy about it, and I'm sure you will be as well. First thing I want to show you this. If you open a more settings sidebar, you'll notice 2 icons here in the bottom, in the top right. The first one will be a lock, and when you click this lock, the sidebar will stay the same. Will stay there. So basically, it will be locked. It will not close again until you press the lock again. So basically, I don't know if you want to modify something at this icon box. You've noticed that I've pressed the icon box to display the toolbar, and at the same time the sidebar displayed the more settings options for the icon box. The same goes for everything. If you don't have anything selected, it will say select an element on the page to display more settings. So if you click a button, options for the you'll get the more settings for the button. The same goes with everything, right? Images, videos, every element. For those that you actually have more settings, but as we all know, it's all elements have it. This is major because as you know it, and we all know it, a bunch of times you want to go to paddings, you want to go to margins, you want to go to modify a z-index, or maybe add a class, an ID, or something like this, right? Or maybe you want to go through your page and add entrance animations to all the elements. It was doable, but it was a clicking nightmare, right? GP, you need it every time to. I actually have I've switched to an older install right now. If you can see it on my screen, you needed to click once for the element, twice to get the more settings sidebar to appear, and then start the process all over again, right? You go to the button, click on the gear. You go on the image, click on the gear, more settings, again and again and again and again. And as you can imagine, if you have 10 pages with 100 elements, it was a bit of a chore, to put it lightly, right? So right now it's just a matter of locking the right sidebar with more settings and just clicking different elements, and the more settings will pop up, and you'll be able to access it instantly. The second button here, the second icon, will address the position of the sidebar. You know, as you can imagine, for example, if we if I were to close this very fast and maybe set the block on full width, in cases like this, for example, let me just lock again the more settings sidebar. In cases like this, if you would want to control the right padding, for example, for this element, for this icon box, you would not see right under the sidebar. So it's a bit of drag the padding, close the sidebar, see what you did, and things like that. It's a bit of modify, see what you did. So right now it's easy, is as easy as clicking this button. The sidebar will go to the other side, and you'll be able to basically play with the padding and have access, a visual access to the right hand side of your page.
I think that one is going to make a lot of people very happy. That is going to be a great way.
Yeah. And one more thing, last thing about this. We've made it another two things. One thing is that we keep the tabs active, right? If we switch to advanced and modify something, and then I don't know, put something here. If you go to another element on the page, it will keep and activate the advanced, so you don't have to switch around every time. You'll be instant. And the last thing I want to mention is that the responsive part, and it makes perfect sense to be like this, you'll see that you don't have the lock here. And the reason is that the responsive mobile and tablet will display this right sidebar every single time, because you have room for it, and in the responsive all of the time, at least I am, but I'm sure you guys do as well. A lot of the times you play with the margins, you play with the paddings, you want to modify certain styles regarding the spacing on your page, right? It's mainly the editing on the sidebar, on the responsive is, I think, 80%, maybe even more, focused on adding spaces, trimming out some margins, putting some paddings here and things like that. These options are in the right sidebar. So every time you needed to click more options, right sidebar, click more options. Well, this will be done from now on, because you'll have the sidebar activated every time. So it will not be a problem anymore. This is basically the first thing I wanted to show you, and it's not the coolest thing. The coolest thing is, we'll leave it. We'll leave it last. We'll leave it last. The coolest thing. Okay. I don't know if you encountered the GP. I know that I see in your videos all the time this, and it's not in the slightest your fault. You've encountered toolbars that come or are opened over the content, right?
Yeah, overlap the content, right?
Yeah. For example, let me just 1 second. Let me just switch. I've now, I don't know if it's loaded, but I've switched to a current version of how it works.
No, we don't see that one.
Yeah. I'll just wait a bit. This is basically how you guys do things right now. So you encounter a lot of time. For example, I encountered often when I work on the header, right? You just display the toolbar options here, and because the font, the toolbar doesn't have room to appear above it, it will cover the items. So it's kind of you modify something here, put another font. You need to close everything to see what you did. You modify something, and everything. It's a bit. The experience is a bit interrupted, right? It's everything. Every time you need to close everything to see what you did, and after that, let me now go back to time you press. Guys, after this update, I'll pay for the beer if you can make the toolbars appear on the content of elements ever again. So, for example, in the header, the Breezy displays the initial toolbar on the bottom, and everything will go down, right? everything you modify right now, it will be applied, and you'll see the content that you are working on.
Excellent. I'm very, very happy about this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically the second thing. We've sorted this display toolbars issue that was not maybe pressing. You could live with it, but I always, when the element appeared over the content I was editing, it was kind of a drag. But this will be sorted. And the last thing that is the coolest thing, I think, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it, is a shortcut. What that shortcut will do is escape, and what it will do, it will select the parent element of the thing you are the element you are editing, right? So let me give an example. Have you ever encountered problems like this? For example, when the options to open the toolbar, the bubbles, the circles are very near one near other, and you can't select it. I see this all the time in the videos. When you have columns in columns or rows, or it's mostly a problem in responsive when you have all those elements and you can't select the toolbars for them. Well, right now, what you'll do with this option, you'll just select an element, any element, and when you press escape, what you'll see is that it will automatically activate the toolbar for the parent element, right? So if I want to go to this column and I can't click on it, I'll select an element in the column and press escape, and the toolbar will just activate on the column. Let's just go to a more complex element. For example, I click this button, I press escape, it will activate the toolbar for the icon box. If I press another escape, it will activate the parent element, the toolbar for the column. If I press another escape, it will go to the block, and if I press another escape, it will close. What this will let you do, it will let you select any element on the page, no matter where the buttons are, right? So if we go for this block, for example, if we make it full width, we instantly see that the options for the column are not easily available right here at the right side, right? They're sometimes maybe hard to click on the column here. So what you'll do, most likely, you'll click on text and you'll press an escape, and that's it. And if you want to go from the column to the row, because it has a row, as you can see here, you just press an escape and it will go to the row. Another escape to the block, and another escape, it will close. Maybe it doesn't seem such an awesome feature right now, but believe me, when you start using it, it will open up, and you'll basically be able to access any part of the options in a click, right? Because usually elements in a page are way easier to click on because they have a wider area. So you'll click a text, you'll go to a column, then to the column, then to the row, and then to the block, and things like that. So it's another way to basically work with the different toolbars for elements and containers.
Right. So that's our UI UX showcase. A few questions then, Dimi.
Yeah, sure.
On this. Chris had asked, when you drag the column, you can see the percentage at the top. And he was asking, will that ever be a feature where you can set that manually, where you can just type it in? For example, you wanted 40-60 for one column, 40%, the other one 60%, that you can just type it in without having to drag it.
Yep, it will be. This is mostly maybe I would not call it issue, but usability issue for responsive. I feel that the work in responsive right now, especially for columns, it's a bit you need to spend a bit of time there to drag the different columns to put them 50-50, or I don't know if you're like me, a perfectionist. I want to be it at 50, not 49 point something. It's on the list and it will definitely be there. So yeah, it will be there.
Yeah, in the demo, while I was working on it, I actually found that the columns dragged better this time. I'm not sure if it's just my imagination, but I got it exactly at 50 and it wasn't the issue.
Yeah, it's not your imagination. There are some particularities there that will be alleviated with some of the performance improvements that will make some of the HTML that is in them. It depends on how many elements or how many things you have on the page. There are some factors there, right? But an input for setting the percentage for columns, it's needed for sure, and it will be there.
Right. And then Patrick asked, and I think actually this is one thing that I run often into myself. I know when you build out a website, you have an idea and you work on it, but sometimes when you're just playing around, you make a hot mess and then you just want to restore everything back to a default. Is there that opportunity in the future, maybe that when you work with the global styling or the colors, or that there will be a reset button that you can just get back to that default?
Yeah, we've been talking about a reset button. This is I'm not sure if more complex to do exactly, but we need to what we've talked about. We've talked about a reset. We always talk about, when we discuss features, how they integrate in the whole. It's easy just to create a reset maybe and put something there that will do something, but it's important how it will play out down the pyramid with elements. And we are discussing a reset, but we are discussing a reset not only on styling, fonts and colors and things like that, but through the whole stack: elements, columns, and yes, as a bottom line, we'll have something in this regard regarding the reset, but yeah, future down the line, yes, sure, it will be for sure. We've discussed this a lot, and it will be there.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions related to the UI and the UX. I think people are very happy. I'm very happy. I think tonight what you showed me with the first one, we're cutting out almost 2 clicks every time I just want to go and change the padding. So that's great. The fact that we don't have the overlap, that you can dock them to the left or the right, or you can change them. And the escape button, definitely. It's very important, especially when you work with full width. So absolutely great features there. Let me see. I think people are happy, and yes, GoFundMe for the yes. Let's go on. Import export showcase. There's more coming. Okay, let's see where we are. Already at 18 minutes, but we can.
Yeah. Okay. I'll move. This is a shorter one, and I'll move it fast. Sorry, guys. We can go all night, but I'm sure you have families and other stuff to get to. Maybe way more important than this. So I'll just go. I'll just share my screen really fast. Share screen. Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
My job is on the line. No worries.
Yeah. Okay. So this is. I hope the page shows.
Yes, we can see.
I've created a simple page from blocks within the from our kit, from the 2.0 kit. So it's the breezy way, right? How do you expect this to work other way than to save a block, right? Let's just make some changes to this block to be sure that that will have the maybe go on. I'll go full. To make only make some small changes to make sure that what we save is different from what is already there. So you have a block, right? You have a block, and what you do to use it further. you most likely save it, like you do until now, right? You press the heart icon on the block, and it just goes to your saved block tab. The first thing I'll want you to notice is that the saved blocks tabs. No, this is not what we should have seen. Let me just hit a refresh. Most likely is because sorry about that. Most likely is because I've changed the IPs and the host names, and need to hit a clear cache in my browser. But the idea is simple. You make changes to your blocks, you save them, and what I'll point to it, and you'll notice right now, is that the saved blocks tab will be a bit different. This will easy but surely transform in a library block and a layouts section. Let me see now if Yep. So what you'll notice here is that the block saved blocks tabs transform a bit, and it says saved, and it says saved because you don't save only blocks, right? You save blocks. If you look here in the sidebar, you save it. This is easily but surely it will transform in a library right here. So you'll save blocks and also layouts. Right now we don't have any layout, but I'll show you how to do that a bit later. And what you'll do right now, what you see here now is what you already are used to up until we'll push this import export sync update. What you'll want to do here, you'll want to connect your Breezy account, or you can create a new one right here in the interface. I have already created one, so let me remember if I see if I remember the login credentials. And you just connect your account, and you are basically, that's it, right? You don't have to do anything else. It will show here in the left sidebar that you are connected. It says saved library is syncing to your Breezy account. You can disconnect it if you want. You can force it to sync. We'll have an automatically sync. Basically, once in a while, your blocks and layouts and everything will be automatically synced. But if you want to sync it right now, you just press this sync now button. It will push everything into your Breezy cloud, into your cloud account. And this is basically it. Those blocks and layouts will be accessible from any WordPress admin where you log in and connect your Breezy account. That's basically it.
The number one question is, again, all the features for the UI and the UX, as well as this import export. Is this all included in the updates that's rolling out in the next 1 to 2 months?
Yep. Everything, yes. Everything is included. This is not a concept. This actually works. You saw that I've inputted my username and password, and it connected. It didn't connect it with my actual Breezy account, of course, because the guys have all the setups and all the servers duplicated and workloads, and I don't even understand it, to be frank. So. Okay. Yeah, everything it's encapsulated, that it's in-house. What I'm showing you right now, but it works. We just need to iron some things out, and this is basically it. When the blocks will be this icon here at the bottom shows that the blocks are not synced right now, but in the process of syncing. And when they will be synced, it will show a tick. A green tick, and it will you'll get a visual representation that block is already pushed to cloud. One more thing I need to show you here. So basically, sorry?
The layouts. Did we cover the layouts?
Yeah, exactly. The layout. I've showed you how to save the blocks. This is the same way, but I'll draw your attention to the bottom right corner where we have this toolbar that controls options for the page, right? You can preview the page, you can update the page, and guess what? From this arrow here, you'll click it and you have two options. You have clear layout that will clear your layout. You know, this is, I always deleted all the blocks one after another. It was like crazy. Oh my God, we need a clear layout button, right? So I'll just let me. Okay, I've just undo that clear layout action. And the next one, guess what, is save layout, right? Because we have here, it makes sense to be here because we have options that impact the whole page, right? You can update it, you can preview it, and you can clear it, and you can save it. And in the near future, we have this on the list. You'll have also here save it as draft. But right now, I'll just push the save layout button, and of course, if we go here on the saved saved tab,
we're going a little bit nuts.
No, he's announcing the we need to wrap this up, right? Yeah. So when you're going to the saved block, of course, you'll see one layout here that we already saved, and voila, this is the actual layout that we've saved. Again, the live thumbnail that you'll never see anywhere in this modern builders, but you'll see it right here. It does the job, and you'll have a clear representation of all your layouts here. So basically, this is it. You'll sync everything to the cloud, to your Breezy account. Don't confuse this with Breezy Cloud. You don't sync it in Breezy Cloud. You sync it in the cloud, but in your Breezy account, and you'll have access to everything you sync from any WordPress admin that you connect your Breezy account to. And most importantly, and you'll see the power of this, it will be something cool, because if you are also a user of the cloud, the Breezy Cloud platform, you'll notice that you'll have access to these exact same blocks from one platform to the other. So basically, if you'll be able to go to Breezy Cloud, create a new project, a landing page, a funnel, something like this for a client, maybe prototype something with the kits and the blocks that are there. You'll have access to this library that you saved yesterday, a month ago from another project, right? You'll be able to use it. You modify it a bit, you save it again, you have another client next month or next week, you remember that you have I've worked something last week. You bring that in, you have access it in any WordPress. So it will be give and take, things like this between these two platforms, between WordPress and between Breezy Cloud. I think this will open some interesting possibilities and flexibility. And I'm pretty hyped about it.
Dimitri, is this a Breezy Pro feature or also included for Breezy Free?
No. This is Breezy Free.
Really, for free?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm speechless. Yeah.
This is synced. This will be synced in your Breezy account. You know what? You've paused me right now, because I had a small pause because, oh my God, this is not free or is free. Let me just, okay, I'll take the 5% and let me just get back to you on that. Okay.
Okay. Right. So we take that with a pinch of salt. We'll get back on that.
Yeah. I don't want to retract anything. And you said it in the live webinar. It's free. I don't care. Give it to me. But
yes. At this moment, definitely it is for Breezy Pro. Go check for you guys if it's in Breezy Free.
No, it's I think it's Breezy Free 99%. But let me get back to you on that. But
says, well, while we're here, you'll give it away for free.
Yeah, take it with a grain, but only 1 grain of salt, right? It's just 1 grain. No, it's free. Let's leave it as free, and if it happens to be in pro, we'll just make it free for the guys that attended the
We will make this video available later.
and this is basically it. Yeah, right. So it's I think it will bring some interesting power to in merging this to platforms. You know, you need WordPress, you need the dynamic content, you need the power in that sense with the databases, with the blog posts, with the WooCommerce and all that. Although we have news on that on the cloud part as well. But if you need that and you love WordPress and you're working with WordPress and you are used to it maybe, and you want that to go that route, no problem. You have all the power there. You save all the blocks. You have access to them from one install to another. If you want to go to Breezy Cloud, you go there, but you are not forced in one environment, right? If you start something in cloud, it happens usually. Clients hear about WordPress. You know, I don't know, I've heard WordPress is great. Let's switch to WordPress. No problem. You just make an install, bring every page from that through Breezy Sync. You have your website moved to WordPress or the other way around in 5 minutes or so. So
Mika, on this, I think one question you ask is probably an important one. If you are going to build up a massive set and library in there of your own saved things, will there be an opportunity maybe to create folders that you can group them?
This is another thing that we've discussed, and as you guys know and are used to, we have this approach of delivering features and functionality. You know, in a perfect world, we'll keep this under wraps. I don't know, maybe Breezy will not ever launch, right? Because every time you'll need to expand, improve, and things like that. But the approach I think you already are used to, and will continue to go that route. We have something that works. We'll release it, right? Most of you, it will bring a bunch and a lot of power and flexibility and things like that to you, with the margin that it will be improved with everything we do. So yes, I can imagine right now the possibility where you'll save a bunch of blocks from different projects, a bunch of pages, and right now and in the first phase, it will all be in this folder. You'll not be able to create folders, add tags, but rest assured that we've let me stop the sharing so you guys don't stare at this screen all day. But rest assured that we've discussed this, and basically an explorer, or how to put it, a way to categorize blocks and the layouts will be available.
Great. So guys, I think that's it for the import export. So many features, and the question I see again, when is this coming out? Everything that you've seen here, and for Pele, who only joined in the last 20 minutes, but thanks for joining, these are all rolling out in the next month or 2 months. So you have to give it about
2-3 months. All these 2-3 months. Import export is I think 2 months maybe. And after import export, if you watch the replay, you'll see that in the first slides one of the first slides we've discussed about this. I think import export in around 2 months, and the next will be display conditions.
Right.
Before we go, let's just wrap this up. Before we go, there are another 3 things that we want to share with you. We always try to up things up, right? We always try to bring some new stuff, surprises, and things like that to you. So the first one will be that the contact form 2.0 is launched already. We did it just now, a couple of hours actually. So you only need to log into your WordPress admin and update both free and Breezy Pro plugins, and you'll get access to the contact form. I remind you that the contact form is in free, so everything you see there is in free. Only the integrations are in pro. You'll also be able to go reCAPTCHA, sync your, you'll love it. Everything is in free. And please don't forget to back up your website before updating. We've tested this a lot, and thanks for the beta tester if you guys are here around. We've ironed up all the things, critical things. As you know, things pop up, things that we couldn't see. Please back up your website, make the updates, and take the contact for a spin. The second point is that, I think this is the second and the last point, if I'm not mistaken, is that the next update that is coming next week is totally in your hands, right? We have this idea and presented it last time, and I'll just tell you again about it. We have 4 landing pages, and we sit with GP, with Bogdan, with everyone here, and decided to start our free, right? Our free journey, our free design initiative, right? Our free, and we'll include every time things in free, right? And we discussed what we should include in free from these 14 landing pages. And the idea came that you'll decide what it is included in free. So I have the post already done. I'll post it on Facebook right after this webinar is over. Go there, and in an effort to bring you on board and let you decide and be part of the discussion and the decision, you'll vote for this 14 landing pages. We have demo pages for everyone, and the first 5 of them will be in free, and the rest will be in pro. So that's it. The next update is basically in your hands. Yep.
That's right. Those are landing pages. Just check there, and Dimitri will post that just here after we are done here, before we say thanks. Okay, right. So guys, our panda man, you would have seen Chris post there a panda photo. Our community.
I look like a panda after this holiday. I'm not sure how you guys do it. I'm not sure how you guys do it in your country, but in mine, in Romania, is eating and drinking a lot, right? So I'm just fluffy, but I'm on the way to anyway. It's another goal, but it's not a breezy goal. This one. Okay,
you will see in the chat now Razil Kanos, which is Chris, our community manager.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm the panda, Chris, mate. I'll be the panda for the next couple of months until I shed off this.
Right. So there's Chris. He gave you his email address. Any ideas? Email him, please. Chris will also be doing videos for those things that you want to see more, and we'll be uploading that in addition to the ones that I'll be pushing out on YouTube. So please make use of that. Ask him. He's very hands-on, and he will tell you good ideas or not good ideas. Chris is our man for that. And then just quickly, we talked about the beta tonight, and many people were confused about the beta, why they didn't get access to the beta, why it wasn't in their account. Go check. We'll put a link in this webinar at the end, but you can just go to Brizy.io, scroll to the bottom, and you will see beta test. And if you haven't signed up for the beta testing program, in future, you won't be able just to get it from your account. You need to go sign up there. So make sure for these ones, when we do push out betas, you will need to be a registered beta user to do that. So make sure if you want to play around with beta testing to do that. So from my side, I'm very excited. A lot of these features tonight, I've seen some of them before, but some of them are new to me. I'm really excited. I'm just concerned I'm going to have to make all my videos from scratch.
This is when you do, we've discussed about this a lot of time, right? A lot of times. When you do video docs and things like that, you can't, when it's text, it's easier. You just go modify a couple of words there, here and there, put some screens, and you're done with it. But with videos, we'll just have to redo some of them. But this is life, right? We are pushing, in my opinion, we are pushing the boundaries of what can be done with WordPress, with cloud, with sync, with usability, with ease of use, and this is basically our vision that comes to life. And we had a great 2019, and it will be a even better 2020. I promise you that. So it's just stick with us.
Right. So thank you guys from our side. Have a good night, good day. See you again.
Bye.